educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work podcast, where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
Thank you very much for tuning in today. You know, today is a special day. I have enjoyed this past season. And out of all the things that I've accomplished this year, I was reminded of how this channel has grown, but I've lost one key component, and it was fitting that it would be on this particular episode. My wife reminded me that, Maurice, you started this podcast because you wanted to help individuals. You wanted to provide types of information that you have learned over the years, whether you've learned it by chance, whether you learned it by profession, whether you learned it in the book or official schooling, whether you learned it by, as some people might say, a school of hard knocks. But a lot of it has been just living every day and being able to be a sponge. As I have grown, I have matured, and I have been able to share with you, all of you who've listened, who I am, and you have seen growth in this show, being That Will Never Work podcast, to places and spaces that I've never imagined. And I want to thank you for that. This and every other opportunity that has been presented to me throughout the 5 years we've been doing this podcast. And again, it's only fitting that I say this in this particular episode. I never imagined that I would have 100 episodes again. This is episode 100. And so what does that mean for this particular season? This particular season showed that I interviewed 99 individuals. I've had 99 conversations. I've had 99 perspectives on how to move the needle for any individual, whether you are in a space of depression, whether you are in a space of happiness, whether you have 0 employees, meaning like you're the only one, or if you have 10,000 employees, whether or not your revenue is $500 a year or $500 million a year, I've had a little bit of everyone on this show. And I've only been able to do that by getting outside of my own way. Now, I do have more interviews coming. I have more shows coming by the end of the year. It could be very well that I could hit 125 to 150 by the end of the year. That could be easily done. I never imagined it to get to this point where I would enjoy something so much. And a lot of times things happen by accident. And I want you to know that it's okay if it happens that way. You need to be open to it to receive it. You need to be open to it to try to even understand it. And you may not have that space, that mindset to understand, to receive it. It might be someone else that needs to be in your community or your circle that can open up your eyes and your ears a little bit, because sometimes when we're in the midst of it, we don't get it. So what is it for you today that is going to change your mindset in order for you to reach goals and dreams that you never imagined? As you well know, 2 years ago, now, season 3, I challenged myself to record 100 episodes. So this is not the first time I've had this experience, but let's understand the process where I've gone from 15 episodes season 1 to now challenging myself for 30 episodes. And then I get to season 3 and I'm like, all right, Maurice, we can get to 50 episodes. And then I realized that 50 episodes happen by July. And I'm like, oh, wow. I need to challenge myself. Now I need to go to the next level. I need to go to the next step. Then I challenged myself to get to 100 episodes, and I was able to achieve it, even though the last episode, number 100, aired on December 31st, but I was still able to achieve that goal. It's never too late. Each and every one of us, even if we have that goal, even if we don't hit it until the last day, it's possible. Don't give up. Don't give up. So now today, where I am celebrating my 100th episode, and I can still hit another half a century, a half of 100, 50, anywhere between 25 to 50 for the rest of the year, is not something that I had anticipated, but I have truly enjoyed it. And this 100th episode has shown my growth. It has shown my dedication and the opportunities that has been presented to me, and how I have been able to take advantage of it, how it has energized me and motivated me to be an inspiration just to myself. When I wake up in the morning, I look in the mirror, I'm like, wow, Maurice, this is where we are. But I've also been able to energize those that are around me, because when I talk to people and they say, hey, Maurice, you're at 99 episodes, that's some people don't make it to 3 or 4 episodes. And we understand as podcasters, right? Podcasters, there's a lot of people that stop after episode 5, after episode 10. This is documented information. People don't make it a whole lot of episodes because of the commitment that it involves. The ideas of creating content, putting yourself in a position to say, hey, I believe in myself. I have value. And if you listen to the show as a whole, some of the things that we speak about is a consistent theme. It's understanding the value that you bring to the table. A lot of us don't understand that. A lot of us have not been able to be in a situation where people have been able to encourage us, influence us, that we do have value. It does not matter whether or not you are a polished speaker. It doesn't matter if you have a polished video. It doesn't matter if you don't have a polished website. It just matters that you are getting up and achieving something. And people will see that authenticity. People will see that genuineness inside of you. Don't get caught up in looking like or sounding like anyone else. In my opinion, I have no peers in a sense of it's only me. It's Maurice. I am Maurice. I'm one Maurice, right? Out of everyone else that I've interviewed, out of the 99 just for this year alone, again, everyone is in their own lane. Some people might have overlapping topics, overlapping interests, right? But they're them. They are uniquely them. And within this space of podcasting, I have created relationships that, again, are beyond what I even ever imagined. So I challenge each and every one of you today to find that one thing that, even if it is by accident, I did not expect for podcasting to take the route or the journey that it has been on. I didn't expect it. It was by a moment of opportunity where I won the award for Best Podcast for the World Entertainment Award Show. I did not expect that. So when it was announced earlier this year, I was shocked because I never anticipated growing this platform to a place where it could be an award-winning show. So I would like for you to get up, start moving on your idea. And here's what I mean by that. Write it down. Write down the points. Scribble it out on a napkin. Whatever you need to do. Sit in the park, as someone mentioned to me on an earlier show. Take a walk. Walk in the grass barefoot. Walk in some sand. Sit on a beach chair. If the idea comes to you at a football game, being American football or soccer, whether it comes to you while you're at a baseball game, whether you're sitting in a meeting in your 9 to 5, if you have the idea, jot it down real quick so you don't lose it. And then start working towards it, because you have no idea where it's going to lead. And even if it feels as though it's not going to go anywhere, it's not worth it, you might have to just test it. Test that theory. I never imagined for podcasting for myself to grow to where it is today. And so this episode is a fitting episode to say thank you, thank you, thank you for your support and your encouragement throughout these last 5 years. And we're only going to continue to grow. We're only going to continue to expand. I would like for you to have the same mentality. I would like for you to have the same get up and go, regardless of how it feels that particular day. And I'll use this as I close out this episode. And the impact that I did not think I had. Excuse me. And then here's why I'm saying this. I had an interview with an individual who that particular day was not motivated. He was not energized. He wanted to give up the business, his marriage, and everything else. And this is a true story. And I do not want to share his name, but this is how this individual was feeling this particular day. Now, here's the thing. I didn't know it in the very beginning. I didn't know that. I didn't know how he was feeling. I didn't know how he was maneuvering, how he was viewing life at that moment. We had the interview, and for those of you who have interviewed with me, you understand my flow. I talk about the show in the beginning. We have a quick conversation. You know, I like to laugh and joke. If you listen to the show, I like to laugh. I think I don't take myself all 100% serious because life is too short. And that's what I mean by not taking myself seriously. You know, we need to be able to laugh and joke through the process. And so that same energy that I have on an everyday basis, my curiosity, my inquisitiveness, my laughing and my joking, talking about things that are serious, the whole gamut of who Maurice is and what I bring to the table, my everyday self was in that moment with that individual. And since that day, it was able to change his perspective, and he was able to see the joy that I have in doing this and touching people, and my true mission of helping 1 million people, period. It's enough. It's enough people out there to touch 1 million people, right? So sometimes you have no idea what life you're going to change. And that one individual, being a business owner, being married, I'm looking at myself in the mirror as I'm talking to this individual, understanding that, hey, there's some days I don't feel like interviewing. There's some days I just want to lay in the bed all day because I'm not always motivated. You know, that's not, again, that's how we're wired. Sometimes we feel like it, sometimes we don't. But I would like for you to understand that you have value, that you can encourage, and that you can change an individual in an instant. So when you take a look at whatever those ideas that you're jotting down, those ideas has value. Those ideas may not show it when you first write it down. You may have to work it. You may have to wrestle with it. You may have to mold it like some clay or some Play-Doh. You may need to talk to other people and maybe share the idea and have them look outside of your box. And now, are you moving forward? We understand that as entrepreneurs, every idea is not going to work. But you don't know that until you try it. This 100th episode was a blessing. It allowed me to touch and talk to people that I never imagined. I've been able to reach heights in this year alone, being 2024, that I never imagined. And so my wife was right. Maurice, it's just fitting that you just say thank you to everyone out there on this 100th episode. And I keep saying 100 because it's still a shock to me. Like, I'm still a little in awe that I've been able to achieve this. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. It felt like it was effortless. Once you do it for a while, and the individuals that you talk to show or sees your genuineness, your authenticity, and you just be who you are, the journey is going to be easy. And you'll reach milestones that you did not think were possible. And I'll leave you with this last idea in this 100th episode. My upcoming course, my upcoming book, and the idea for next year, the next season, starting off the next 5 years, way more focused. We're going to talk more about a 1-degree shift in your mindset, in your habits, in your conversations. Just a 1-degree shift can change everything. Good for bad. But ultimately, we're looking toward, we're being more optimistic for the good. I thank you very much for listening to That Will Never Work podcast. And for those of you who knows the secret question that I ask everyone, would you rather choose 3 doors or a fork in the road? I will answer that on December 31st. I thank you very much for listening to me.
Thanks for listening. Find us on social media at Chisholm Group LLC and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work, or will it?